Welcome back to the TV Trifecta podcast, where he is rubbing my leg currently. Where a trio of men discuss a trio of topics, rotating hosts between us three every 3 episodes. If you're gonna do something on camera, you're gonna regret it.
You literally started over before.
I can't see what's going
start
on
over.
anymore. What is happening?
If you are unaware or brand new to the podcast,
I am.
the host of the episode picks a piece of media,
Who's the host?
whether it be standalone or a series, to discuss over the course of one episode.
I'm the host.
Our trio of topics are as follows: movies, TV shows, and games. Last week, we talked about a TV show called Avatar: The Last Airbender. Today, we are talking about a movie. My name is Izzy, and I am your host this episode. Let's have these two idiots introduce themselves.
Oh yeah, I should not do that.
You, what is your name?
Disappointed.
I am
Kolten.
disappointed.
That is
And
my name.
What are you winning today?
A
A
brand new
big
Honda
sloppy
Civic.
kiss.
Well,
That's not a Honda Civic.
and you,
I'm disappointed.
He's the Honda Civic.
I'm a disappointment.
what is your legal name?
Disappointment. Mistake.
Trash compactor.
My parents named me Disappointment.
They knew my name is Joe Obama.
They were just getting ready.
What?
They were prepared. Anyway, hi, I'm Aaron.
That's Aaron.
I'm the third guy. That's my name.
And what are you winning today?
A big sloppy.
Joe.
I didn't
Biden.
say that.
Big sloppy Joe Biden.
Oh yeah, that's my biggest dream.
Okay, so let's be clear.
No.
Okay,
The,
translucent.
I want to be solid.
the first episode, we did The Evil Within, which was a video game.
Correct.
And then the next episode, we did Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Also
which is
correct.
or a TV show. It is a movie.
And a TV
Bad
show.
one. It is a TV show, and a movie. So naturally,
Yes, you're going insane.
you know this is going to be about a movie because I told
It's
you
in the
earlier.
title.
It's also in the title. We are talking
What
about
movie?
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, directed by the Daniel brothers.
Yeah, so what's your favorite food?
So my favorite food is pizza, and
It do be nice though.
all right. So before
should've
we
got that
get
ring.
into it, Colt,
Why?
you have seen Everything Everywhere All at Once
Twice.
twice.
It still confuses me.
It still confuses you. Why don't you tell me about the beginning of the movie?
That? God, do you mean the worst part to talk about?
I wish I grabbed the bomb line.
There's a lot of there's so much in the first beginning. Why'd you do this to
What
me?
do I do?
Because I am putting you on the spot.
I'm doing it.
I can't. It's been a long time since I watched it. I'm not gonna get everything.
No, you're good. Just cover the basics about the first
leave the
20 minutes.
leave the couch.
We cover the basics of what?
The intro. Intro of the movie. The first 20 minutes right before they go to the IRS.
Oh, I was gonna say tax evasion.
By the IRS?
You don't get to see those.
I think the IRS is the opposite of sponsored.
Why would the I? Okay.
We are sponsored by
Off
the IRS.
camera.
The Internal Revenue.
The first 20
Service.
minutes,
Stupid.
family problems, a weird lesbian relationship, not tax. The IRS are knocking at their door, not literally, but kind of legally speaking. And there's googly eyes on a certain thing in the first 20 minutes. A lot of bills,
Dollar bills, y'all.
not those kind.
Nope.
More like this could put us in federal prison kind of bills.
Don't worry.
If we don't pay them. And you know, some weird time crap going on with like, isn't it the TV?
Mhm.
The TVA.
It is the TV. No.
Yeah, the TV shows
The
a
t-
certain lovable character named Waymond, played by Ki-hoi Kwan, which I
Didn't he
probably...
win an Oscar for that role?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Ki-hoi Kwan, who this was his like triumphant return.
Hadn't acted in a movie in a while.
He had not acted in a movie in like 20 years.
He had produced and I think was a stunt coordinator in a lot of them, as well as I think
Yeah.
X-Men.
I think he was part of the X-Men, like X-Men 1, I believe, where it was.
X-Men 1.
Because he detailed how nice Hugh Jackman was. Yeah.
He met Hugh Jackman.
Oh yeah,
Huge Jackman.
Was he Jack?
he huge Jack, man.
He hugely jacked him.
He man jacked you.
He's jacking you.
He jacked Hugh, man.
What are we saying? We can't go. We can't end last episode on whatever the fuck we were talking about, and then start this one like this.
He's blue.
I'm red. That's.
And he's purple.
He's not though.
He should be.
He's like a shade of pink. Change it to something.
You
purple.
do realize it's called maroon, right?
that is not maroon.
This is maroon.
No, it ain't.
We're not talking about maroon.
It could be. It's in the movie. Maroon stuff.
Colors in there probably.
I don't think there's one instance of maroon in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Really?
I'm
Not
gonna
her
look it up.
shirt?
No, I'm not gonna do that.
So
Did
there
I
is
get a
a-
general basis on it?
that's a general basis, yes. I just wanted you to talk for a long period of time.
Thanks.
So
Such a
the
good
beginning of the movie is just a whole lot of chaos. What it is just a bunch of bills, a bunch of things going on, trying to run a business, trying to run a family, trying to get this party started at a New Year's Eve party, trying to not get imprisoned by the IRS, and trying to hold on to your husband as well, who's slipping away. The whole entire beginning of the movie is just 20 minutes of family problems, work problems, bill problems, and it's just so real. It is a whole bunch of chaos just meshing into each other, just a whole lot of storylines being thrown out left and right. Her dad comes down the stairs when they weren't expecting it and doesn't know about his granddaughter's lesbian relationship. And his granddaughter also is trying to suppress her Korean side. She doesn't want to be part of this world that they are trying to push upon her. Now, that being said, it sets the tone for
Now
what
it
the
gets weird.
entire movie becomes.
I mean, I would know. I haven't seen it. We've been talking about this whole thing, and you haven't even mentioned that I haven't seen this movie.
Yep, nope. He has not seen this movie, so we are going. Fair
saw
warning,
it in the
we're
trailer.
going into spoiler territory. I'm not going to spoil all aspects of the movie.
I think you
obviously.
should.
Absolutely. Give no shits.
I'm not going to spoil all aspects of the movie. However, we're going to go into a lot of important plot points. So,
Oh, no.
Everything Everywhere All at Once starts. And after all this chaos, it says part 1. Everywhere. And
Interesting.
yeah. And now they go to the IRS. They have all their
Those poor
receipts.
people.
Yeah. They have
Taxes.
all of their receipts and bills and stuff, and they get into this elevator, in which Ki
And
Hoi
then they
Kwan,
make out.
I wish.
suddenly, like a light switch, changes into an entirely different personality, and is explaining to his wife that he is not who she thinks he is. That this was the basis of saving the world. saving the universe. And he gives her this little thing, and it looks like an earpiece. It looks like an earpiece, but it's not. It glows.
It's a foot piece. Sorry.
It glows green when a certain event happens. So, what happens is she is given two choices. She either goes left and goes to meet Deidre, which is the IRS agent, or she goes right and goes to a closet, just this janitor's closet. Obviously, she picks Deidre because that is what she came here to do. That is, she thinks this is nuts. But while she's talking with Deidre, suddenly her husband comes over the earpiece. Her husband is sitting right next to her. Never the wiser. And she does this thing. She does this really weird thing. Crosses her shoes, puts them in different
On the
different feet, and she did something else. I don't remember what it was, but then her earpiece glows green, and when she presses it, she is suddenly flung into the closet in which her husband is in. And he explains that she is no longer in her universe. This is a different universe. This is a parallel universe in which she went into the closet instead. And it's a burner universe because he knew that this universe, she dies right around now. And this is where she finds out that there is a multiverse and a multiversal threat trying to kill her and her husband throughout all of the multiverse, and is just tracking her down. He also explains the worst thing that you could ever hear out of somebody's mouth, that you are the worst version of you in the entire multiverse.
Oh.
And because you are the worst version of you, you can do anything. So
I don't even know if that's reassuring or not.
I don't
think it is.
So this movie spends about 25 minutes, maybe almost 30, setting up a strong foundation for these characters. Just laying it all out, showing you who these people are, showing you why you should care about these people, and giving them real life problems. Like this, so far, everything that's happened, this is stuff that people have to deal with in real life.
Even the multiversal stuff.
Yeah, even the
I deal with that
multiversal
on a daily basis.
literally.
Fuck. I know I'm the worst version of me.
Yeah, one time I went to the bathroom to take a massive dump, and I ended up in the prehistoric age. It's crazy.
One time he took a dump, and I ended up taking his dump. It was wild shit. Literally. I'm sorry.
So it spends this entire time setting up the premise, which is literally just the multiverse. And it sets it up so well because you don't know why everything is the way it is, why they chose, real life problems, why they chose this family that is dysfunctional for like this multiversal adventure. And even the concept of how they do the multiverse, because you don't go into the multiverse with your actual physical body. You can't. You transport your mind into the same body, the same mind of that parallel universe. And you don't get to stay, but you are forever linked. And it's amazing how they portray that. It's a great way to portray the multiverse, because why would you be able to physically go meet yourself? That's an interesting aspect of the movie. You can't, because you are you in the other universe. You're just a better you that has other experiences, or even a worse you, but not in her case, because she is the worst. Her.
That's very encouraging. Very encouraging.
And her husband is probably the best him in the universe he's from. He is called Alpha Wayman. So
It's very funny.
yeah.
And she's with Omega Wayman.
But this movie, it has such a strong introduction.
Mhm.
And
You know how I love multiverse stuff.
oh yes.
I love
yeah,
it.
of
I haven't
course.
seen it. I really want to see it.
I purposely left out the multiverse aspect in case you didn't know
I
that.
did know about that.
Okay. Because
I did not know she was the worst version of herself.
yeah,
Yeah.
it hurts to hear that. She gets to see a bunch of versions of her that are so much better than her, and it's so sad sometimes.
Yeah.
But the entire movie just sets this up. And here's the thing. This movie is amazing.
From what I've
visually.
heard.
The parallels, the scenes in which they are filmed, like the camera positions, everything that goes into the production of this film is so meticulously detailed.
Like Breaking Bad.
Just like Breaking Bad. Actually, it has a lot of similarities with the way that Breaking Bad does its visual storytelling. Even like the googly eyes, they actually are a giant part of Everything Everywhere All at Once. It, like when you look at the poster, like something to deal with Everything Everywhere All at Once. When you look at the thumbnail, because I know I'm putting googly eyes
On himself.
it's going to just you're going to see googly eyes, and that's like its staple. But it is actually a giant part of the story. It's not like it's there for
In a way you wouldn't think.
in a way you would not think. It's just like this. It's a fun moment, and I'll get into that moment. That is a great moment in storytelling. However, I don't want to get more into the plot yet.
Aww.
We'll talk about the plot.
I like multiverse stuff. I'm already thinking of more.
I want to talk about the production. This multiverse scaled movie that has amazing visuals, just great, like, great, like, backdrops, like, a whole bunch of stuff in this movie is insanely, like, beautiful, is visually stunning, and there's so many like good moments where they choose this slow motion shot, and it's not like a Michael Bay slow motion shot where
Don't
it's
you
like
mean Zack Snyder?
and Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
It's not like
slow
two
motion.
people like for no reason. It it has these moments where it's like you gotta slow down, because if you don't slow down, it's going so fast.
Just gotta keep going.
Can't understand it, and it's gotta show this emotion in this one particular spot. And the scene I'm talking about is actually the end scene where Jobu Tapaki and Evelyn are fighting. We'll get to that.
Don't get too far ahead of yourself.
Yeah, I'm getting way far
I
ahead.
like how you just said a name that people are like, what did you just say?
Jobu
Who?
Tapaki means nothing. So,
But you think it.
this amazing, visually stunning movie, and it just has amazing props, amazing like action scenes. Like the choreography in this movie is insane. Some of it is just fucking ridiculous, and it's supposed to be. It's hilarious.
I can think of one right now.
Are you thinking the dog one?
Butt plugs.
The butt plugs is a good one.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to explain before you move on.
Okay.
He will
So
get there.
there is a moment. So you know how I mentioned the switching shoes thing?
Yeah.
To channel into another multiverse, another you have to do something weird that you would not do in this universe. So one of the things that they are prompted to do to channel into another universe is to put a butt plug right up their ass mid fight.
Which
fucking
is for some
weird.
reason
So
trophies.
I don't like it.
It's so great.
That's just sounds
Which for some
dumb.
reason are trophies.
Oh, it's dumb. And it's supposed to be.
It doesn't good.
And yeah, they are trophies in the IRS.
For some reason.
Yeah.
Aren't they at Daedras or something? Or
Do
do
they have at least?
Yeah.
Do they at least have flared bases?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so there's this
Explain.
scene where there's just like guys pantless, and you can visually see the butt plug just hanging from their rear end as they're fighting.
And one of them couldn't find one of the butt plug ones, so he has a literal like hockey trophy up his ass. So funny. But
This is not making me want to watch the movie.
you should watch this movie.
I know, but this is not selling me on it. To be honest.
Okay, here's the point of me talking about how visually stunning this movie is. How
With
great.
butt plugs.
Surprisingly, yes.
The editing staff was 6 people.
Are you serious?
Six.
That's
Six
it?
people.
Six.
And it's one of the most visually stunning
That's insane.
movies of all time.
Six
That's
people
crazy.
did that.
That's impressive.
And the ways that they made some of this stuff is insane. I wouldn't have thought about it. There is a moment in which Evelyn is going straight through the multiverse and just going and going and going, and she's strapped to this chair and everything's flying around her. How they did it was a guy just went about his day in New York City and just filmed the whole thing on his head, and he sped it up, put more vibrant colors in it, and made it look like she was falling basically through this entire city.
That's insane.
And it's insane.
Wow.
It looks so good. And
Wild.
like
That's wild.
You've
One
never
of-
told me that before, so that's
Oh,
still
yeah.
a surprise to me.
and one of the greatest scenes of all time in this movie, and it's so good. It's so good, and like by any standard of the movie, is the Jobu Tupaki fight scene with Evelyn. Jobu Tupaki. Before
Which
I
one?
move on,
He's once again getting ahead of himself.
Yes.
Jobu Tupaki, because you need the
Introduction.
the introduction to her. Jobu Tupaki is the multiversal threat. Jobu Tupaki means nothing. It really means nothing. And it is actually a form of nihilism in this character where this name is nonsense, but why not use it? Why not use that name?
Why not
Because
kill
nothing
Evelyn in every
matters.
universe?
Why not? And this character is her daughter from another universe, and she broke, her mind broke, and every iteration across the multiverse became aware of everything, everywhere, all at once.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the title. And it broke her. She became nihilistic. It was nothing matters. Nothing. It doesn't matter because somewhere else this is happening. Somewhere else you have it worse. Somewhere else this is good. She even says in one moment, she says when Evelyn is happy about this one thing, she goes, it's a statistical inevitability. This is the one universe that, yes, this good thing happens. But you go into this one, that never happened for you. It never did. And you can feel that too. And it's amazing. It's amazing. But the fight scene in particular, every time that Evelyn and Jobu Tupaki hit each other, they transport into another universe immediately. And their
Best scene.
background,
Of the movie.
oh yeah, their background changes with every hit. There's a moment where, they punch and they're like in this beautiful Japanese like kind of like samurai almost
Oh, yeah.
hillside, and then suddenly they hit again, and they're in a prison, and it's a prison riot, and they hit again. They're at the stand where the judge is, and suddenly they're pinatas, and it's amazing. It's just amazing that they're just going at it, and suddenly there is a moment where they are children's drawings fighting each other, and it's so good, and
That's cool.
it is so cool, and that is made by 6 people. And it's so fluid. It all makes sense. It all goes together. It's comprehensive. And it's just so good.
Run me more through the plot.
Yes.
This is gonna be a lot less us talking, and a lot mostly just you.
That's true. I need y'all for the funny quips and for me
Yes.
to also.
I can be interesting, but I don't want to talk about the stuff I want to talk about.
Oh, you can.
No, I don't want to. It's just not related.
It is.
It's
Kind of.
not. It's multiverse stuff and something else.
And that is related. That is
Not
why I
related.
chose it. That's why I chose it. For you to
boy.
not know anything about. You
Fuck
can talk
you.
about the multiverse all you want.
I don't wanna.
Okay.
I do wanna, but I don't wanna.
All right.
But you should one.
So,
Maybe if we talk about that itself, that could be an episode.
that could be. That very well could be a bonus episode for sure. And that would be really easy to do.
Talk about the ABC.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
So, they're in the closet.
Making
Evelyn
out.
and Wayman.
I mean, that's her husband, so
Yeah.
could be fucking.
Evelyn
You
and
asked for
Wayman
this, by the way.
is in the closet together. And he explains the entire multiverse to her that she's the worst.
You know,
to
you're
her
the fucking worst, bitch.
and that this is a burner universe. And suddenly, Deidre, the IRS agent, who also, I didn't mention this before, but that is Jamie Lee Curtis, by the way.
I
Yeah.
was wondering where Jamie Lee Curtis came into this.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis is
I did know
the
she was in
unassuming
this.
IRS agent. Because she also won an Oscar, I believe, for this performance.
For some reason.
For some reason. She's a great actress, but man, she's ridiculous in this movie.
I will say the thing that disturbed me the most from this movie is the hot dog finger universe.
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention. I've seen that, and that I'm not looking.
I
forward
don't
to.
like that universe.
That just sounds like that. That sounds dumb.
The first time that you see the hot
From
dog
what I've heard,
universe,
from what I've seen, that's the only difference. The
It's
sausage fingers.
so freaking weird.
they get really good with their feet.
That's not better.
There's just the moment where she caresses her face with her foot, and I'm just like,
That's true.
I'm like, what?
And that's the thing. That moment happens in one of the saddest, heartfelt moments of the entire movie, and it actually makes you sad.
Yeah.
And I don't want
With
to tell
that
you how.
individual.
I know. I don't want to tell you how, but that moment is actually sad. Her caressing her face with her foot.
There's no way I could take that seriously. Alright.
It's
I
just,
can't do it.
So,
I can't. Just keep going with the plot.
yes.
Please. The
So,
IRS agent shows up.
the IRS agent shows up and grabs Wayman through the door. And she's like superhuman strength right now. And snaps his neck, kills Wayman right in front of her. And that was where you find out, oh, his mind's in another universe. He's still alive. That was actually him. That was Wayman that he used to be like, this is the exposition.
Great. He just killed a random Wayman.
Yes.
yeah, pretty much.
And that is important to note.
Because that's also not her husband. It's not.
No.
Her husband's the OMG one.
Mhm.
Not the one who just died and
The-
possessed the guy.
Alpha Wayman is a badass. Knows martial arts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He the Ki Hoi Kwan's actual character Wayman, the OG Wayman, is a silly goofball that puts eyes on everything.
Good flares.
goofy eyes, the googly
Mm.
eyes.
Also, I don't know if you said this yet, but to channel that into you by doing the weird thing is you got to focus on that specific thing.
Oh yeah,
So,
you have to.
so it's just like, oh yeah, I want to be an electrician. Bite this, and then suddenly you just are great at it. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
More complicated, but
It's
simple.
the steps in which you take to get to that universe. So, like one, I'll talk about this scene because it's actually coming up. So, Deidre kills Wayman in front of her, and then kills her. She feels death for the first time. She dies, and she screams in the actual universe because she felt it. And she gets paranoid because Deidre's right in front of her in this universe, and obviously that's not the same Deidre. But to her, it's like she doesn't understand. Oh my god, what? Who is this? Um, so they go through, and she gives them 24 hours. No, not even 24 hours. It's like 6 hours. Like
something like that.
it was like that night, the night of their party. Like after the party is done, they need to get those forms to her, or she is calling the police. Um, and she gives her this last chance. Is what it is. It's the last chance. Um, and then it is revealed that Wayman um is trying to divorce Evelyn. He wants things to work out, and he is wholeheartedly, it's gut wrenching for him to admit that he loves Evelyn very much, but Evelyn is, well, let's face it, she's not a great person. She isn't a great person, and he doesn't feel loved anymore. He doesn't feel that love, and he that she tries to confront him about the multiverse. He thinks she's confronting him about the divorce, and that comes out. And then Alpha Wayman comes out. To which uh she mistook what Alpha Wayman was trying to tell her, that she has to be ready to fight, for saying that Deirdre in this universe is also going to try to kill her. So she decks Deirdre.
That's not gonna go well.
Decks Jamie Lee Curtis, and obviously security is called, and Alpha Wayman exhibits the for the first time channeling your other universe. So he needs to fight better, right? He already is pretty good at fighting, but there's several security guards. He has to fight better. So he unzips his fanny pack and grabs some chapstick. He opens the chapstick and chews it.
Yep, I
He
knew it was gonna be fucking eat it.
He chews it and it dings. He suddenly knows, I think it's literal kung fu. Like he now knows kung fu. And this is a badass, well choreographed, also kind of funny at some points scene of him using this fucking fanny pack and beating the shit out of these IRS security guards.
I mean, literally.
I mean, what else are you gonna use a penny puck for? Holding stuff? No,
Clearly not. Well, actually, yeah, because he put like rocks from a fish aquarium into it to deck them in the face.
Oh, they're dead.
He also put the little, the 3-pronged thing. He put that up a guy's nose and yanked him down. So
How?
But he fights them, and it's a fun scene. You get to learn how he channels the multiverse. And then they have to go. They need to leave because now Deirdre is actually controlled by that other universe, Deirdre, that killed them. She has the same equipment that is used to channel the multiverse. And she comes after them for real this time. So everyone needs to figure out how to channel through the multiverse. Well, she sees herself in another universe. And funny enough, Michelle Yeoh plays Evelyn Wang. In this universe, Evelyn Wang follows the life of Michelle Yeoh. And so much so that in the so she's like an actual like skilled fighter, and she knows real kung fu, and so does Michelle Yeoh, I'm pretty sure, because she's been in a lot of kung fu movies. I don't know if you knew this.
Like, wasn't she in Shang-Chi?
Yes, she was.
She was
yes,
the
she
aunt?
was.
Right?
Yep.
The aunt?
Yep.
I believe she was the aunt.
She was the aunt that was the general of all those women. Yep. But she channels this universe, and she also lives it. She finds out that when you channel these universes, you live their entire life. And she knows how that feels to have everything. That is the best version of her. She wants to live in that universe now. And Wayman, I almost said Raymond.
Everybody loves him.
Everybody does love Wayman and Raymond.
I don't know about Raymond, but
Raymond.
Not ever since he played
Raymond.
Manny 5 times.
He's probably not done. Well,
Nope.
actually, no, he is.
No, the 6th movie was announced by
It's
John
not even
Leguizamo.
being made by the same company, though.
Nope, because Blue Sky's dead.
Fuck Disney. I can't say that on podcast. That's being removed or bleeped or cut out. We'll see.
Both, all three.
I'm just cutting out my voice.
Everybody loves Wayman. Okay, so he explains to her she can't live in that universe. She cannot be there. The way that he explains it is she's a teapot, and every time she goes into another universe, it cracks, and it's leaking into that other universe, and she will always be part of that universe now, but she can't dwell into it. She can't let that be her, because it's not. If there are too many cracks, the tea kettle breaks her mind. So, they deal with Deirdre, and it's a whole thing. So we're not gonna get into it. It's a cool scene, a whole deal, but it's not really integral to the plot. It's one of those complimentary action scenes. So they go into this whole entire ordeal, with Wayman, and then they find out Jobu Tapaki is her daughter, right?
Terrifying way.
In a terrifying way, in a way that she see. This is the cool part. Jobu Tapaki doesn't need that equipment to channel the multiverse. She is already everyone. So she channels animated universe. She channels a universe where she is like a tango dancer, and she uses all of this to kill people in front of her mother, just to prove a fucking point that she is powerful. And
not in a gory way, but actually a confetti way. Like just poof.
Like she turns a man into complete confetti, kills him that way. And another man she beats unconscious with dildos. And what was the other thing?
You're not selling me on this movie sometimes. Sometimes you got me, and then other times you say that.
You got me in the first half. I'm not gonna.
You lost me in the second.
And she just uses all of these just bizarre and cool ways to kill people with a multiversal power, literally putting other universes into weapons, basically,
The
to
other
fight
one
people.
was a golf club.
Yep. She used a golf club. She was in a golfing outfit.
Poor
And
Jill.
just, boom.
What? What? That blindsided me.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of myself for that one.
I could tell.
and she tells Evelyn
Mhm.
that she is this very powerful thing. Evelyn takes it that, oh, this Jobu Tupaki is an evil spirit inside my daughter, and that's what made her hate her family and be gay. Like that yeah,
Oh no!
literally. And Jobu Tupaki has this response where it's like, you think that this is what made your daughter gay? And she then says in this creepy moment, she says, this universe is so much bigger than you can imagine. And she channels this entire hallway to have all the voices around the universe talking at once around her, and all the lights start flickering. And she starts running at her, just turning into a whole bunch of different versions of her. And
It's super creepy.
it's super creepy. And suddenly she does these actions, and they have sound effects. Like she's creating literal sound effects while doing this, and that's not like added into the movie, like for the movie sound effects. That is literally her creating sound effects to prove a point. And she does all this, and Evelyn just realizes, oh god, this is just unstoppable. This is an unstoppable force.
I see one in there that Aaron's gonna like.
You
Yeah.
can't point down at his crotch, man. You just look over, go. There's
see
one in there that Aaron's gonna like.
Hey, I was
I
looking at
already
his-
do. Wink, wink.
I was looking at his notes. Not
I'm,
his
I'm
crotch.
straight.
Okay, let's move on with the plot. Okay, so
Yes.
she finds out that there was also an alpha. Her dad's name is affectionately Gongo. And there's an alpha Gongo. He is trying to convince her to kill Jobu Tupaki. Like that, that's the only way. And the only way to do that is to kill her daughter while she's not Jobu Tupaki.
Alright.
Because Jobu Tupaki's not in control. Which she is.
I don't get it.
So the way that he theorizes it is, if you kill her in this universe, because this Evelyn is the one she wants, this is the one that saves the multiverse, she must kill her daughter in this universe because she'd be cut off. She can't be in a universe in which she died in because she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that universe would just be gone for her. Inaccessible. It might as well be nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So all the rest of the multiverse would die to Jobu Tupaki, but this universe still gets to live. So he wants her to kill her. Obviously, she does not want to do that. There's got to be a different way.
She doesn't
No
want to
way.
kill her daughter? I would just, bang, bang. I can't say that. That's awful. I'm so sorry.
You're gay triggered.
No. How am I supposed to keep that in now?
You would put her to sleep forever.
How am I supposed to keep that in?
It's simple.
Easily?
It's simple.
Don't cut it out.
Don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so she
Farts.
then thinks maybe the way that you beat Jobu Tupaki
Love.
is become her. Become exactly like her.
Interesting.
Break the tea kettle. So she starts channeling all the multiverse and seeing all these different versions of her, the the bad, the good, all of it, and learning from it, learning from her other selves, in like forming these storylines that are actually important for the movie. Um, very. And she starts like learning who Evelyn is in all these places and where she is in life. And these important characters are also revealed that you don't know. These are people that she just met because she went down this one path. Um, and eventually she comes back into the original universe, right? And she's a better fighter. She's amazing. She is like very well like choreographed. She can do all these amazing things, and she fights her way through everybody. And then she gets to Jobu Tapaki, and she goes, "I'm ready. I am ready to fight you. This is it." And Jobu Tapaki is like, "You are now everywhere, but you don't understand. You don't understand what this is doing to you, what this is doing to the real you." And she's like, "Of course you can be like, but can you even fight me like this? Can you do this? Because you're not experienced. This is not who you always were." So Evelyn dies. Evelyn falls to the ground dead, and the credits roll.
And that's not the end of the movie.
And it zooms out.
It's the fake credits.
And it is the movie that she starred in the movie star universe where she followed the life of Michelle Yeoh. It is Everything Everywhere All at Once that she's watching. And it is amazing how they do that. And suddenly, she is being violently thrusted around the universe just without her will. And she is fucking everything up. Every relationship she has, everything that she has built in other universes, little or small, is getting fucked because she doesn't understand that she is now every single one. And it is all going wrong. Everything is going wrong. And eventually she just tries to hone in. She's trying to focus in. And suddenly she's back right at the beginning where it said part 1 everywhere. And she has 2 choices. She can either put the bills on the left or she can put them on the right. So she splits the universe and does it both at the same time. And it goes part 2 everywhere.
Okay. And then part 3 is going to be all at once?
Yes.
I see how this is going. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Continue. Carry on.
So,
carry on.
Now,
we're almost at an hour.
Now she is, she is all powerful. And this will go a lot faster now that we've got everything.
Just everything.
Now that we've got everything, yeah. It's also shorter than part 1.
Yeah.
So the
You just go, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So I killed my momentum.
It did.
So she is now just like Jobu. She is literally everywhere, and she now is realizing she needs to fight. She needs to actually fight her, and so she confronts her, and she confronts the daughter in this universe, which isn't the original universe. This is a slightly different universe. It is very much the same, but in this universe, her and Wayman had a conversation in the van that was different than when they left originally. So, in this universe, they are going through with the New Year's party, and she confronts her daughter, and her daughter doesn't understand what is going on. I don't know why you are yelling at me. And then suddenly, she cocks her head to the side
She's a new one.
and smiles slightly. And suddenly, she has this tone that's like, "Oh, let's go somewhere." And she now understands, Jobu Tabaki now understands, this is the same Evelyn she just met, that she actually was successful and became just like her. And she was like, okay, now that you have the power to fight me, go ahead, fight me, try to kill me. Can you? Can you kill your daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a terrifying thing where it's like, oh, you can now fight her, but that's
what?
your daughter.
But now what?
Yeah, but now what? What do you do now?
Mm-hmm.
And so she takes her to this place and proves this point. And it's the nihilistic standpoint of nothing matters. She made a black hole, and it's actually out of an everything bagel. She took a bagel and put everything on it, and it made a black hole, something that is going to rip all the time. And she shows her this, the bagel, and is like, can't you see that nothing matters? I was trying to find someone that understands, not trying to kill you, trying to find one of you that finally knows what this feels like, that nothing matters at all. Everything you do is just fate. It's all just leading to pointlessness because you cannot live a life when you're living all lives at once. It is impossible. You just get frustrated, and the point is that nothing matters. It just doesn't matter. So because they are in every single universe and they always will be, they can't truly die. They can't. Even though some universes they will die, some universes they just don't. They can't. And so she made this black hole to finally have that release. Maybe that's what kills her. And she wants Evelyn, her mother, now that she understands, to join her so that she doesn't die alone. Because after everything that has happened, she doesn't want to die alone. That's her fear. She doesn't want to do this alone. She doesn't want to be the only one that has ever felt this way and ever will. Mm-hmm. And she just, it's a conflict within her that hurts her and it drives her. And, the whole point of her killing everyone was that there was no point in killing. She didn't have to. She just did because why would they? Why should they live? That was the whole point. It's like, oh, they're going to die eventually. They are dead in this universe. Why don't they die in this universe? Doesn't matter. And so she convinces to finally let go in every universe, just destroy her life. And she does. She starts wrecking everything in the other lives on purpose and just destroying people's families, destroying people's lives. The universe in which she has the hot dog fingers, she's actually in a relationship with Deirdre, and they are in a very loving relationship that they're soulmates. They are forever supposed to be together. And she basically kicks her out of the house and like hurts her horribly. And she in the universe where the New Year's party is going on, the one that's very close to her original universe, she just starts fucking destroying everything in the laundromat that they work at. And suddenly, eventually, they're at rock bottom. Literally. They turn into rocks in this one universe where the conditions were just right for nothing to ever happen. No life in the entire universe. They just become rocks and it's an entirely silent part of the film for about 5 minutes until some music plays, where they are subtitles. They're just subtitles talking to each other and trying to be like, hey, it nothing ever mattered. Nothing that they did ever mattered. They don't have to live. And they just talk about this, and she is just like telling her daughter, "Hey, this is it. This, I, I, I give up." And then Wayman, in the universe in which they are having a New Year's Eve party,
The original?
the one that's very close to the original, starts talking, and um, even though he was hurt by Evelyn, and she yelled at him horribly, and also signed the divorce papers in front of his face, gave it to him. He convinces the police, because the IRS arrived with the police, obviously. Convinced them to let her go, as well as Deidre, and told Deidre about uh, what Evelyn's situation was growing up, how she has had it rough this entire time, and eventually, by Wayman's kindness and him never doing anything wrong, um, Deirdre finally lets her go, and gives her another, like, I think it's what it was, another week to get this sorted out. And she asks Wayman, like, why did you do that? Why, nothing matters, why would you do that? And he's just like, because it was kind. It was nice. And she then realizes throughout all the universes, the Wayman goes into this speech, just realizes that he is actually, like, kind. That he says, he points out that she fights this one, that she is stubborn, she is arrogant, she fights in this one way that is very specific. And he says he fights with kindness. He says that is his way of coping with everything, because everything's bad. He doesn't need for someone to tell him everything's bad to know it is. He doesn't need someone to tell him it's all pointless, because he's like, ultimately, yeah, almost everything is pointless. But being kind, being friendly, being just nice to people around you isn't, because you are actually affecting someone. You are affecting someone positively. And throughout this entire universe, she's realizing that Wayman's great. And also, at this point, she is revived in the original universe. She just comes to life because of her immense power, and even just understanding that it was understanding nothing matters that brought her back to life. That she was so focused on nothing matters that she lived in this universe. And she also stabs Wayman in that scene. Yeah, it's horrible.
Poor Wayman.
But he just goes into this monologue, and it's beautiful. And this is where it's kind of the joke meme, where it's like, in another universe, I would have loved to just do taxes with. And that was it. He was living his best life in the original universe because he was with Evelyn. That was his life. That was his thing. And Evelyn just didn't care. That wasn't what was important. What she focused on was what she could have been. What she should have been is what she's thinking. And the whole entire movie boils down to this one moment where Jobu Tupaki now is on this nihilistic standpoint of nothing matters, just die. And then Evelyn is now on this standpoint of nothing matters, Let's do anything. Let's do anything we want. And that's where the fight scene happens. It's this moment where they're fighting. This is also where we find out what the googly eye actually means. And what it means is that she finds that kindness is the reason to live. That being nice, just simply being nice, is the reason to live. And that's when and they use this symbolism, and it's kind of funny, but her like third eye opens, and it's the googly eye. And she starts fighting again, just like before, where it was actually violent, but now she's fighting with kindness, showing everyone throughout the multiverse the good things that they could have happened, or good things that should have happened, and showing them that there is good everywhere. And she does this until she gets to Jobu Tapaki, and she's trying to let her daughter go into the black hole because she wants to, and then she realizes that she can't because that's her daughter, and that she should live, and that she should know that life matters because you're living. And the whole moment is just beautiful and profound and so good. And they have a conversation in the original universe as well as these universes where things are going, haywire. And all of them are the same premise: be kind. And they're all wrapping up every single storyline in this movie in one scene. And it's going back and forth through these universes of her fixing everything. And suddenly she just stops. It all stops, culminates into this one silent scene in the not original universe, the New Year's Eve party universe, and her and Joy. Joy is Jobu Tapaki, have a conversation. And she basically just says, yes, I am a horrible mother, and yes, I will always think the things that I think because they are my beliefs. But that doesn't mean that I have to hate you or you have to hate me for it. And yes, she can be better. She can be worse. She can be anything, really, now. But that is why they are family. They fight, they love, they hate, and they like. And they have this moment of understanding where they're like, nothing matters. Let's do it. Let's just live. Live a simple life. Live every life. Simple. And suddenly, it's the next day. It's part 3. Everywhere else. They go back to the IRS office, and life is just continuing. They, making gifts and gaffs about, oh yeah, everything that just happened, but also, they're trying to live their best life in this one universe, and they go to the IRS office and they get it all situated. Everything's good, and then Evelyn is asked if she's listening, and she's never proud enough to admit she's made the mistake. And she goes, "No," over saying, and then it ended. As she heard all of her throughout the entire universe as well. It ends there, and suddenly it's just it's this beautiful song called "This Is a Life," and it's so beautiful. But that is it. That is the entire movie in a nutcase. In a nutshell, not a nutcase.
You're a nutcase.
Thank you.
He wants some nuts.
Nutcase.
I've seen that movie. Or nut job. You're a nut job. Will Arnett be like? Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry.
that's the movie. And I know I spent so long talking about so many details about that.
And what's the problem?
But he didn't.
Oh, I love talking about this movie.
I can see that.
But it's got so much heart behind it. Like it actually feels, because it's a silly movie. It is really funny and really ridiculous. And some moments you're like, what the fuck? Why is this in a movie? But
Butt plug scene.
butt plug scene.
Sausage
But-
fingers. Killing
Sausage
people with
fingers.
dodos.
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 I'm killing people with the dodo bird.
I mean, there's one where she's
And
in
a
the
dildo.
universe where she's like a maid for a guy who just goes into this room and just has BDSM.
She's
Activities.
a maid for a sex room, yeah.
And they actually go to that place in the movie,
Christian
and
Grey be like,
and she knows the code to that secret room because she went to that universe.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it's a sex room in that universe as well.
Sex room in every universe, just like yours.
But it's just a really wonderful movie.
Mhm.
And that spawned a lot of really good things in real life.
Mhm.
Like real life things were really good for this cast. Ki Hoi Kwan, he won an Oscar.
Mhm.
He won an Oscar at the same time that Brendan Fraser did.
Mhm.
The same day, and both were from movies in which they returned after thinking, the world hated them, that Hollywood hated them,
Mhm.
and finding that everyone loved them. And I loved the movies because Brendan Fraser got his from The Whale, which is also a beautiful movie with almost the same message, made by the same production company, A24.
Really?
And that one's a pretty good movie as well.
Mhm.
But they reunited, and because they were in Encino Man together, a movie from like
Long ago.
25 years ago.
Mhm.
But they reunited and they found that the world loves them, and it was kind of bittersweet because Wayman was this picture perfect kindness, and Kioi Kwan finally saw, oh, people actually still like him. He's still a good actor. And people remember him fondly from like the Goonies and
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. And it spawned this really great thing. And like that movie also got so many Oscars. Like I think it got like 5 Oscars just as movie. It was a lot of they won big.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It just is a fascinating movie. And in my opinion, this movie is a must see. I don't pretend to say it is the most fantastic movie out there.
Like you definitely probably haven't said that earlier in the video.
I'm not saying that it is like the perfect movie where everyone is going to feel the same way that I do. That, oh man, it's the best movie of all time. Because realistically, I know that this movie has certain tastes that people just don't like, and that's fine. You could watch this movie and be like, oh, that was a pile of garbage, but I have seen this movie 7 times. This is my most watched thing. I have seen this movie 7 times. That is why I have been able to tell you the plot. Last time I watched this movie was in January.
By the way, January was a long time ago.
That was 9 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Very
oh my gosh, you just had a baby.
I guess I remembered my baby.
That's on
Wow.
YouTube now.
You patting my
Sure
stomach
is.
as I said, I just remembered
Yep.
my baby.
You're welcome.
It's his, by the way.
You pointed at him.
I pointed at you.
Oh no, it's his baby.
It's his. He impregnated himself.
The message, the story, the soundtrack, it's all just so heartfelt. It feels like someone actually poured passion into this film. That they literally just, and I feel it because of how I've been talking about this movie this entire time. It's just amazing, and I have not gotten sick of watching that movie yet. I will watch it again. I will, and I have thought about watching it again this year, but I've been trying to,
He's trying to cut back on
watch.
it.
more
Trying to
movies.
cut
And,
He's trying to cut back on his addiction.
yeah.
He doesn't think he has a problem.
I don't have a problem. I've seen 150 movies this year. I don't have a problem.
Don't. There's
Anyway,
no
carry on.
problem here.
Anyway, so what I want to ask both of you,
Mm-hmm.
Colton,
Yes.
you have a special question, and I have a special question
I?
for you.
Oh no, for me?
Yes, Colton first.
My
What?
special question.
Yeah, what did you actually think about Everything Everywhere All at Once? Because you've seen it twice now, and I know that you liked it, but I want to hear what your thoughts are having seen it. And it has been a while since you've seen it, because the last time you did see it was the last time I saw it, back in January.
Yeah. My thoughts on it is that I do like the message. I honestly I'm not big on multiverse things. Don't
You
get
know
me
what
wrong.
you're in, right?
I know. I'm not the biggest fan of it because it's like multiple multiverses.
Because of the fact that nothing matters, which is just not true.
Sure. Yeah. Whatever, man. But it's just like I wonder what they could have done if they went with a different premise than just the multiverse. You know, like what could have been done different to say the same exact message? I guess like the whale, but not like the whale.
Well,
I do want to see that movie.
The Whale actually has a very similar premise, or no,
It's a multiverse.
message. Yeah, it's a multiverse.
He raises into the heavens.
No, it has the same message where it's this guy has lived a horrible life. Like people have been horrible to him, and things have been so bad. And even through all of the bad, he is hopelessly optimistic. Like he is such a great guy. He's so kind and uh wanting wanting to be a part of his daughter's life. Um and he knows that in the past he fucked up, that he was a terrible person, and he just wants a good life, and he knows because of how he has ate himself into the grave, which is no light way of saying it. He is morbidly obese. He knows that he is not going to have a good ending, like that his time is coming. And even in face of all that, he wants to prove that people are good. One of the quotes from that movie that I really love is he says, "Do you ever get the feeling that people are incapable of not being good?" And it's a very, complex way of just saying, I think everyone is good. At some level, everyone can do something good. It has a very similar message. And it is actually told in that way where it's not the multiverse. It shows, oh, he had this life beforehand that was horrible, and he's trying to rekindle his family, and it's just not working, and he is trying his hardest to be a good person and to show there's good in the world. And it's funny because those movies came out about the same time.
That is true. They did. I think the whole multiverse thing. It's. I don't like it anymore because of the MCU.
It's getting old.
It is
Honestly,
It's just because
I'm tired of it.
Because multiverse. This is relevant. It's because the MCU. It's not that it. It's not the multiverse isn't the problem. It's the way that it's being used.
exactly.
It's used as a end all be all and a crutch.
Yeah,
Whereas this movie clearly does not use it like that.
exactly.
It matters.
There's a reason the
that's-
multiverse is part of it.
And that's what I like about it, especially the way they use it. It's not like that typical, wow, I'm in this universe and I see myself. It's like, no, you just be that person and you live it. And it's like, you know what, that makes sense because I feel like that's how that would work.
Yeah. Uh, Another multiverse movie, you know, that proves multiverse isn't the problem inherently. It is the problem, but it's also
It's
not.
not the problem.
Yeah.
It's the way it's being used.
Exactly. Is Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, I will say the argument that they are using nostalgia for it to be good, probably because of Hollywood.
I have things about that, but
yeah, but we don't need to talk about that because
No.
I'm definitely going to talk about that movie eventually.
That's a later thing.
But it was still a good movie. It still had a purpose and why the multiverse was a part of that movie. And
it made sense.
And it made sense. And it was a really good Peter Parker story for Tom Holland's Peter Parker. It did wonders, and he finally got to have a light on him being a true Spider-Man. And I'm not saying that he wasn't a true Spider-Man before, but this was his this was his moment. This was his Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield in Amazing Spider-Man 1 specifically. This is his moment. Both movies are good. I think both movies are good.
We're not talking about that.
We're not talking
We're
about
talking about multiverse now.
Spider-Man.
And it's living proof that, a movie can be wild. It can be about something completely different and still have a message that's simplistic.
Mm-hmm.
You can portray complex storylines and boil it down to one thing. And it is shown in this movie. The one thing is be kind.
Really
I
like
think, by the time everything everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Or it's everything everywhere.
EEA.
No. Don't do it. Okay.
EEA.
By that point, everyone was like, multiverse is tired. It's a problem. It's not for that movie. Just proved it's not a problem.
It's not
the way it's utilized. It's the way the MCU generally used it, starting with Multiverse of Madness. It's cameos.
And
cameos, which didn't amount to anything.
Oh yeah, because they all got fucking murdered.
Mm-hmm. They were cool.
That was
they didn't
fantastic,
matter,
wasn't it?
It was so cool.
I don't like the multiverse being used as a. It is a. If you can't think of another way to use the multiverse, besides just cameos, you're not using it right.
Right.
I think that's why I'm tired of it.
You're not tired of the multiverse. You're just tired of being used for that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
not used right. It's just like, look at this.
Clearly, this movie does use it right.
So this is related because multiverse. Little out of the way though. Deadpool and Wolverine. Or the naysayers that say that this movie was a cameo fest. It was.
It was.
However, they used cameo fest right. Because what that movie was a love story to Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even use the main X-Men. Those guys had their spot in the limelight.
There's a there's a difference between a cameo and a supporting character.
Exactly.
The cast at the end with I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not
It's too
gonna spoil
late.
it. But
Yeah.
that cast where they fight at the end, that's not a cameo. A cameo is an earlier character in a blue suit.
Yeah.
That is a cameo.
That is.
He is not a supporting cast member.
No.
That's a cameo.
Yeah.
Everyone in that final fight is a cameo, except for the main characters.
His entire purpose in the movie was one, to shock you, and two, to explain a storyline from Loki
and
that
it didn't need to be him.
Is in this, and it did not.
My point is with that is that I don't think the supporting cast could have been any other characters.
Right, exactly. Because I would have been mad if, like, Professor Xavier was.
They point him out.
They do point him out, and he is an important part of the movie, as he should be.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't have to be in it. He didn't, and he never needed to be in that movie. The movie he didn't need to be in was Multiverse of Madness.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But it's just the multiverse has never been the problem. No matter what people say, it's not the multiverse that's the problem.
It's just how you decide to use it is.
You gotta do
becomes
it
the
in,
problem.
if you can't do it in an industry
in an
If you can't do it
interesting
in an
way.
interesting way, you're using it wrong.
If you're nothing without the multiverse, then you shouldn't have it.
Mm-hmm. Like, damn it, I'm going to talk about it. EPCU, Paths and Dragons, check it out. We have a multiverse.
Oh my god.
Peaked the mic.
We have a multiverse.
It's
My
huge.
point is that the way we
have
use it
MU.
is each different story in a different universe matters.
Right. And it's all connected.
And they don't need the other universes to matter.
Right.
They can. They can, but they don't need them.
Right.
But they matter to each other. Anyway.
Each universe story matters to itself the most.
Yeah.
Sometimes they branch out, but they don't need to.
Right. And like one thing about the PCU is like vortex.
Now we're putting that in the
check the description
check
below.
the description.
The description.
I know we might be on Spotify at some point. Check the description of the YouTube video.
Yeah. Of the YouTube video specifically, TV Trifecta.
Podcast. Episode 4. No, episode 3. 4th video. Hey.
Because that's not confusing at all.
No.
No.
Not at all. What are you talking about?
Not for us.
Not for us, but for them.
What are you saying? Vortex?
Yeah, Vortex.
40.
He's
a branch.
character.
Between them.
Yeah. He's a character that, can appear anywhere. And it also just makes sense because you don't need to know why he's there
Mm-hmm.
and where he
And
actually
understand. To understand.
came from.
I'm sure we'll talk about the EPCU at some point.
Probably. Yeah.
Because we're going to plug ourselves with butt plugs. Hey, call back.
Become great fighters.
It came a full circle.
Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that multiverse.
Yeah.
It's a cool. It's a great concept. That's just utilized very poorly most of the time.
Multiverse is a way to open up so many branches of storytelling.
I have not seen Invincible season 2, but it doesn't look like it's used much better there.
In Invincible season 2?
I haven't seen it.
It
It doesn't seem like it's used much better.
It's okay how they used it. It wasn't.
There's
the
a
best,
reason we're
but
talking about the
good.
multiverse because it's very important for this movie.
Yeah. In Invincible season 2, they kind of use it to motivate the villain
Mm-hmm.
and also motivate Invincible.
See, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it motivates the villain to try and kill Invincible because he sees that he is horrible.
Pretty much everywhere else.
Almost every single universe, he becomes basically Omni-Man, or joins Omni-Man, and both in this universe, the original Invincible universe that you are watching, he is trying to prove he is not Omni-Man, and that was the point where it's like, oh yeah, in all the other universes, you were trying to prove that you're not. And you still joined him. You still relented and killed all these people and was horrible. And in this universe, it's like, oh, what can you do to prove he's not that? And that is an interesting way to use the multiverse. I will say, they used that as a plot device to motivate these two characters. They also used it to bring some characters back and show, like, oh, this is a
And also do not Spider-Man. Voiced by Josh Keaton.
Yeah, they have not Spider-Man, but they have Batman, literal Batman.
Because they... No, they don't.
He's named something else, but it literally is.
No. You're thinking not.
You're thinking of Darkwing.
Darkwing. Batman is in the show. He doesn't have any speaking lines. You see his cape, and Invincible remarks that Batman is a stupid name.
His name is Invincible, and he's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, what
bit
more to
optimistic,
say
right?
about... Also, you didn't ask me the big question.
I am not asked
Your big question.
So, Aaron,
Yes.
Snaring.
please, what would you rate this film out
I
of 10?
haven't seen it.
I know you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
I know
so I
you have
can't
not
do
seen it.
that.
Unwatched, how would you rate it?
Based on just what you've said, and that's it.
What it has currently been said.
7 out of 10.
That's pretty good
That's
rating.
trash.
Most because it was very interesting, but also some stupid at times.
Yes. That's pretty much that movie.
Basically, you said what is it, the message?
Yeah.
You said 2 different things. You said be kind and do whatever you want,
So,
which are not the same thing.
no.
Do whatever you want.
The biggest message is be kind. That's the one that applies to everyone.
Even
However,
if nothing matters.
yes,
Be kind.
even if nothing.
That is a
matters,
great message.
Be kind.
Do whatever you want is not.
No.
And you did say that's
So,
what the message was several times.
That is what they came to the conclusion to,
Right.
not us.
Uh-huh.
And yes, there are moments where this movie definitely is more geared to atheists, where it's like the nihilistic standpoint is what it is. It's just, oh, nothing matters. We all die in the end. There's nothing after. We're gone. And just Band-Aid off. We are Christians. We don't subscribe to that.
That's just helpful.
We do believe that there is a point.
But in the movie,
in
that
the
makes
movie,
sense.
yes. And what that is kind of saying is, if you do not believe in anything, do whatever you want. But it's not like do whatever you want. Just be
But
horrible.
from what you said,
Be
what I
kind.
understand, it seems it's what it feels like. The part of it is
Yeah.
that nothing matters. Sure, nothing matters. You can be evil, but you could also be kind.
Right. Like,
Why would
not?
you be evil when you could be kind?
Because you can kill someone.
And it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't
sure,
matter.
but it also
But why would
that
you?
also means it doesn't mean anything to be good. Well, but that's not what I mean. I mean, like,
No, I know
yeah,
you mean.
it's saying of sure, it doesn't matter. Be evil, but why?
Be good.
When you could be good.
You can do good things. It feels good to have good things happen to you. It feels good to do good things. Why aren't you just all
You shouldn't
good?
be evil
Bad.
just because it doesn't matter to just because what's the word what I'm looking for. You shouldn't be bad just because it doesn't matter to be good.
Exactly.
You should be good because it's good to be good.
Exactly. You should be good because you want to be good. Because things
it's good.
should be good.
Not that it doesn't
The-
matter.
Yeah,
It boils down to you should be good because it's right.
The universe proves that being good is good for everyone.
And everything everywhere.
And death.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
And death is a
Crazy.
part of all life. No matter what, if you're a Christian, if you're an atheist, if you are the cell in
A tree.
that painting over there, if you are that cell.
That's not how cells work.
No, atom.
You meant molecule.
Molecule.
Which is also not alive.
Whatever you are.
Your metaphor kind of broke down near the middle.
Whatever you are, eventually you die.
Mhm.
Eventually you're gone. And sure, there might be something after. And, you know, people believe that, and people believe it doesn't. But no matter what you believe, it's good to be good while you're alive.
Mhm.
When you're dead, then you can worry about being evil.
No, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. He's wrong. He had you in the first half. Just listen to that.
Okay. All right then.
I think that this movie, even with, you know, the craziness, the silliness.
I'm sure I'll like it better if I watch it.
Oh, definitely you would. Yes. Even with all of this stuff that happened in this movie, it shows just have fun. Just be fun, be good, and even when it sucks, because sometimes it does suck to be good. sometimes it hurts. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your freedom. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice your time, your money, just to be kind for this one moment. And that is what matters, not what you just gave up. It's that moment. Because that moment might be a memory for life. A literal inside out core memory.
That moment could be nothing for you.
It could be nothing for you, but it could be everything
To
for
that
somebody else. Everything.
Everywhere.
All
All
at
at
once. uh
At that, no, I'm kidding.
like like one thing that I kind of think of is like strangers helping each other. Because a stranger, you know, helped someone on the street one day, just, they drop a bag, right? And their stuff spills out on the sidewalk. And the stranger helps the other. And they don't know him. They will never meet again, probably. And but the stranger that helped him will probably forget this tomorrow. Probably won't even think twice about it. But the person that got helped, maybe they are depressed. Maybe they have been anxious all day about something that's going to happen because that something might be inevitable. But this one moment where it could have ruined their day, it could have been the one thing that's like, oh man, this happened and now I'm going to have a breakdown. This person helping them, they'll remember forever. And it's just a little moment. It's just helping get your stuff back in the bag. That sticks with you. It sticks with the person that is helped. And that's what's important to remember. That, yeah, you're not going to remember this. You're not going to remember helping this person, most likely. And if you do, that's great. Wonderful. Do it again. But they will remember you forever. They don't know your name, but they'll know you. And I think that's an important lesson to learn, an important lesson to take away from this movie.
And no final remarks, because I don't think there's much more to say.
Final remark.
I've said my piece.
That's my final remark.
Snide remark.
Kolten, any final
Snyder
words on
remark.
Everything Everywhere All at Once?
It's a movie.
Remark.
Fantastic. Aaron.
I'll watch it at some point.
You better.
It seems fun.
You better. I will appear in your closet at 12 a.m.
I promise.
Yes.
Okay, I won't watch it then.
Completely.
Oh. Anyway.
Alrighty. Thank you all for joining us today. I know this one was a little more
Heavy-handed.
serious.
Handed.
And one-sided.
Heavy.
I also kind of talked a lot.
And that's a problem? It's a podcast. You gotta talk it when you're
I don't
talking.
think so.
But I'm very passionate about this movie, and this is the podcast where we talk about things we're passionate about. I think.
You think?
And
Isn't that the point of it?
No, it wasn't the point. Anyway, I'm really excited. Next episode we'll have a surprise guest. It's a surprise
yeah,
to
we will not.
us who it is.
Probably not.
Yeah,
we
we
probably
don't
already
know.
know who it is.
We probably actually do.
It'll
know.
be a random stranger on the street.
Oh yeah.
It'll be you.
Just like how they got a voice actor for James Sunderland in Silent Hill 2, the original.
What?
That's a joke. But also it might be true. We'll Google it after.
I
Unrelated, but I
is
thought that was funny.
true?
Maybe. Sounds like it.
Anyway, thank you all for watching.
Indeed.
This has been TV Trifecta. That's TV.
You're the
We're the
TV.
Trifecta.
Yes, it's gonna become a thing.
He really wanted me to say that.
I
I'm a
did.
TV,
You could
you're a
tell.
trifecta.
And
That's the audience.
and thank you very much.
TV.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all later.
The beans.
We're recording.
Yeah.
Like it's the recording. Like zoinks, man. Like yeah.
Raggy. Raggy. That's rooked up.
Raggy, where are my resticles, Raggy?
Like, when they said fixings, I thought they meant fixings on a sandwich.
On a sandwich.